Hello, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David John Sponheim, running for president in 2016. I believe that the capitalist model that we currently have is running out of new frontiers. And if we legalize marijuana, we'll be able to add a brand new frontier to capitalism. You know, small businesses can grow if we make some major moves that would open up the legalization of marijuana. Now, in the state of Washington, where I live, there is a plan to get marijuana, recreational marijuana, out available for people in stores. But they're still a year out. This is how ridiculous it is. And the Washington state legislation is designed to charge taxes at every level. The grower, the middleman, and the retailer will pay 25%. Well, this legalization campaign that I'm proposing is a national campaign to make it legal on a national level, so there's no conflicts at all between the Justice Department and people like Eric Holder and the states like Washington. So there won't be any confusion, so that states that want to open up avenues of commerce and profit centers for growing and selling marijuana or hemp will be wide open and no restraints whatsoever. So the legalization campaign, I believe, will actually spearhead a third party in the 2016 election. The reason why I believe it is a strong winning point is, for one, the Democrats and Republicans aren't going to be progressive enough to realize the importance of legalization. Even though 57% of the population endorse it, those two parties are still lingering in the old mentality of, oh, we gotta definitely watch out for marijuana because it's a gateway drug and all this unproven nonsense. Marijuana is not a gateway drug, no more than a gateway drug is a cigarette. Cigarette could be a gateway drug to crack use. Or ask Barack Obama about that. He's the guy who smoked crack when he was at Occidental. I've got a caller. Let's take the call. Caller, we're on. Go ahead. We're on with...
Hey, Dave.
Hey, it's Rodney. Hi, Rodney. How are you?
What's going on, Dave?
Well, we're just talking about legalization of marijuana.
I'm just smoking some marijuana, Dave. It's funny you bring that up.
Really? Are you feeling okay? Does it help your psychology? Do you feel better in the day when you smoke it?
No, I just enjoy the buzz, Dave.
Okay, so it is helping you in some ways. Do you feel that we should legalize it?
Why not, Dave? Legalize it, tax it, smoke it.
Okay, well, there you have it. Well, you know, you've got a good attitude. You're the kind of voter I want in 2016, Rodney. You're the kind of guy that I need to come into our camp and say, hey, yeah, I'm going to get behind this legalization campaign, because obviously the two parties aren't going to do it. Obama's not going to do it. Yeah.
Probably not, Dave. He's kind of a lazy, good-for-nothing guy.
Yeah, it does seem like Barack Obama is lazy. I mean, but he's busy starting wars, though. Isn't it interesting how he's trying to start...
You know who he kind of reminds me of, Dave?
Sure. What is it?
Kind of reminds me of Raj from What's Happening.
Ah, yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure I
Did
can
you ever
relate.
watch that show,
I've
Dave?
never watched that show, no. I don't watch television, no sitcom. I've never watched a sitcom in my life.
You've never seen What's Happening, Dave?
I've never watched any sitcoms.
It's got a great theme song. You should make it your theme song.
I wouldn't be allowed to do that because of copyright infringement laws.
Just play 20 seconds of it, Dave.
Okay, well, maybe I'll do that some other time when
Let me get it queued up for you, brother.
I don't want to queue it up right now. I want to talk about marijuana. Now, look at the number of deaths that people have died from. 400,000 people have died from alcohol-related deaths.
Right.
Tobacco, 100,000, and even people died of caffeine and aspirin overdoses, but not one person.
Right.
Not even Chum Lee of the Pawn Star show has
Right.
died of marijuana overdose, because he's still living, by the way. That was an urban myth. That
Oh,
Chum Lee.
that's good to hear. I'm a big Chum Lee fan, Dave.
I think he's great. Yeah, I love that show,
Yeah,
Pawn
he's
Stars.
a go-getter. He reminds me of you.
No, he doesn't remind me of me, but I definitely see the point of him being on the show. Okay, that's the What's Happening song? Is that what's happening? Okay.
It's a good one, Dave.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that little tidbit. So, Rodney, we rarely hear from you, but... Okay, I guess you're in violation of anything longer than 24 seconds I can't have on our show. Okay. Are you talking now? Okay. Okay, so we talk about this stuff every night. We're discussing things that are tangential in nature tonight. Obviously, marijuana and legalization has a big part in our campaign for 2016, so I don't want to forget it. I want all of you to keep checking our show out from 6 to 9. We've got this endless show that keeps going on a daily basis. I want to tell you a little bit about marijuana and the origins of why the marijuana that we know today is illegal on a national level. Are you familiar with the story, Rodney, about the Marijuana Stamp Act of 1936? And no, you don't know about that.
Yeah, actually, isn't that the one that outlawed the use of hemp, Dave?
Yeah. In fact, this was a conflict that Henry Ford had over the production of hemp. He had a disagreement with the major Standard Oil company at the time, and the powerful legal, the lobbyists at the time, and there weren't really lobbyists, they were just power players during that time, controlled legislation to make it illegal for marijuana to be in this country. And I think it was also an attempt to lower the amount of Mexicans into the country, because at the time they
That was a
thought
good idea.
well, they thought that Mexicans were bringing marijuana into the country, so they wanted to create the Stamp Act. And, well, then along comes Richard Nixon, Tricky Dick. My fellow Americans, I want to make this perfectly clear. We're going to make marijuana illegal. This is something that has been sticking on the books all these years. Putting marijuana on the list of controlled substances was his great claim to fame in 1971, and it hasn't helped this country at all. Think of all the jobs we'd have if we legalize it. Go ahead. What?
I said great work, Dick.
Yeah, great work. Well, take a look at this refinery right here. This is an example of what's going on behind the scenes with oil. Can you imagine this being a hemp refinery? Can you imagine how cool that would be if that was boiling down hemp and that would be hemp smoke coming out of there and then
That
liquid
would be
hemp?
far out, Dave.
That'd be far out, man. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about. Creating hemp instead of oil products and byproducts. Putting hemp into diesel to make a green diesel formula that truckers could choose if they wanted to opt out of the other more expensive diesel, and make this thing possible so that truckers could save a lot of money on their big rig trucking rigs going down the road. That would be a huge savings. So there you go.
Good point, Dave.
Well, thank you.
You're full of good points, Dave.
Yeah, I like the idea of legalization. I'm definitely sold on it. I'm glad that you agree with me on that, Rodney, and I can count on your vote there. That's good.
I can't vote, Dave. I'm a felon.
Oh, really? What was your felony? Marijuana possession? Are you singing a song with your laugh or something?
No, Dave. I just lost track of things there.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're a little too high there, Rodney. Yeah.
Think?
You think?
Is that even possible, Dave?
I don't know. Well, we've got other alternatives at America's Third Party, and I don't normally do this, but I want to bring up my cow, my Betsy the cow picture, which is really another major interesting thing. Livestock produces a tremendous amount of gas, not just, methane gas is one of the big byproducts of livestock. And livestock produces 5 times more greenhouse gases than cars, than automobiles. Yeah. So we need to start looking at all these options as ways of creating energy. Compressing methane gas from cows, like this cow, for instance.
Dave, that looks utterly ridiculous. No pun intended.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but every cow produces 42 gallons of flatulence a day. Now that's a lot of greenhouse gas blowing into the atmosphere, affecting, the ozone layer, for one. But I'm not here to talk about any kind of a theory about greenhouse gases, because I get into a big argument with many Republicans about this. I believe we've got some global climate change going on, and I just don't like breathing fumes. Do you?
Dave, what do you and all the rest of these, yelling fire in a movie theater D-bags think about the growth of the polar shelf?
It's an amazing example of how we are entering an ice age. Right now, astronomers are convinced that we're entering a small mini ice age, and
I'm looking forward to it, Dave. It's been so goddamn hot lately.
I hear you. Well, the thing is, the ice age, it could be detrimental. So in a way, we've created kind of a blanket around the Earth with all the air pollution. But that doesn't help your grandfather or grandmother who's dying of emphysema. I mean, we need to start controlling air pollution at the point of use area. Like in our cars, we need more HEPA filtration. We even could filter the air going through the passes in certain areas where high volumes of air go through. We could actually have turbines to clean the air. We could do this. We could do anything.
That doesn't sound safe, Dave. I mean, do you think bringing Arabs in is going to make it better?
No, not turbines.
Oh.
Look, we're talking about things that spin and that suck air, that could veritably clean the air. Anyway, these are the ideas that we're spearheading at America's Third Party. The idea of cleaning and filtering air pollution, working with industry, not penalizing them like the Democrats want to do, but working with industry to create much more efficient, carbon neutral processes that will certainly loop the carbon as opposed to waste it right now. 85% of the gas that goes in your engine goes out the muffler. Your car burns the equivalent of its body weight in pure fossil fuel every single year. It's shocking. Your car is like putting out 3,000 pounds of garbage into the air just driving down the freeways every day. I'm not saying that's your car or anyone's car, but we can do better. And I believe that this is a big, huge change for America. Good evening, Fishware. Welcome to our show.
Hey, that was a great yarn there, Dave.
Well, we've got a brand new way of looking at things. It's not stale like the Democrats and certainly not gentrifying like the Republicans. We've got brand new, fresh ideas, and that's the thing about America's Third Party. We've got the ideas that'll take us into the future, that'll put us 50 years forward, and then we will be leading by example. Other countries will look to us.
Pioneer.
I could be a pioneer.
Dave's like a modern day
John Muir.
Sure.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I respected John Muir. So our ideas are brand new. We've got these things called hybrid capitalist solutions.
John DeLorean, but
John DeLorean. We've got hybrid capitalism solutions for America. The idea is very simple. The government can start mass producing like really efficient solar panels. We can all have solar rooftops. This would help the economy. We would create small businesses in every area that could buy these or have them initially paid for by the government and then paid back over time out of their electric bill. Or we can fund them with renewable energy savings bonds. But these are the kind of things that we could start up our economy again and start building and creating things. I believe, Rodney, that we are kind of at a stasis. Our nation is being held down. And
I've been reading my copy of Hybrid Capitalism, Dave.
I could send you one, yeah, or you could buy one online.
I already have one, Dave.
Great. Send it to me and I'll sign it for you.
And I already signed it. I forged your signature. I'm trying to add some value to it.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, I appreciate the...
Who edited that piece, Dave?
It was edited by the Lord.
Yeah. Was he drunk?
No, it was poured together out of a spontaneous outflow of creative energy.
Were you on some kind of like coke bender, Dave, or?
I've never done coke. I'm not like Barack Obama. I'm not a coker. But anyway, thank you for talking to me about all this, Rodney. I appreciate it. I'm going to step out of this little recorded broadcast, but I want to remind everybody to check out our show 6 to 9.
Whatever you do, no more turbines. America's got enough problems with Arabs. Have a good night.
Thanks, Rodney. We need to get separated from our connection to all the foreign oil that we rely on. Now, they just discovered a massive load of oil off the Gulf of Mexico. The good news is it's going to be worth $1.5 trillion. The bad news is it is probably going to be 5 miles deep to drill. And it's super hot down there. It's scalding hot water. And, you know, with the BP oil drill disaster, the Deepwater Horizon disaster, you got to wonder, what do we do? Do we go after something so far out, so far down to try to make $1.5 trillion in oil? Or should we start toggling back on our use of oil and create more efficient engines? That's one of the secrets, creating more efficient engines. Now let's take a look at this this ad that I'm going to show you the actual article that I bookmarked and tweeted and did all these things. I'm going to show it to you right now just out of curiosity. Take a look at it there. That's the kind of rig that sends the drill down 5 miles. And with this new technology of digging very deep, shale oil is going to penetrate the Earth's crust and go deep into the sands off the third plane outside of the Gulf of Mexico. And this article was posted, Wildcatter Hunch unlocks 1.5 trillion in oil offshore, Bloomberg. So this is something that is going to be handled by Shell. They won the contract on it, and we're going to see how safe it is. Ultra deep has profoundly changed the thinking on U.S. offshore drilling technology. So I don't know, I kind of like the idea of drilling in areas that are safe, onshore, like North Dakota, the Bakken oil fields. I definitely see the need for oil. It's a major part of our infrastructure right now, but I definitely want to see a transition to more efficient engines for everybody. And that is one of the reasons why we're going to need a third party, because the two parties are in the back seat of the oil and coal lobby. They basically receive tons and tons of money from the oil industry and the coal industry to keep running their campaigns. So therefore they give them all these benefits, and frankly the coal and oil lobby are not thinking in terms of our best interest. They're probably working with the auto industry to make cars less efficient, to make carburetors only cap out about 30-40 miles per gallon, when there's evidence that carburetors can get 200 miles per gallon. So we've got technological stopgaps formed by our political party system. And that's another reason why a third party is going to try to break that hold that the oil and coal lobby has over our nation's government. So clearly, legalization of marijuana, stepping on the toes of coal and oil and telling them, no, you cannot do things that are too dangerous that can cause massive oil spills. And yes, you can do safe, environmentally sound onshore drilling operations, and we'll help partner with you in doing so. But let's face it, we need to get more efficient, folks. Think of all the money all of us will save on our engines and our $50 gas fills when we have that coming. So yes, a third party will do that. Thank you for coming in. And let's not forget solar and wind. Thank you, solar and wind, for coming in. Solar and wind still has the potential to power up 30% of our grid. That's right, 30% of our grid could come from solar and wind, but we just can't bankroll it like Barack Obama did. We have to get very humble, fiscally conservative plans together to start creating this stuff in piecemeal with a pay-as-you-go plan. That's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with Wednesday's social topics, and we'll be talking about things that are kind of edgy, like abortion, capital punishment, same-sex marriage, things like that. So thank you very much for listening to this recorded broadcast. And don't forget to follow us at Third Party.